With many of us shuttered inside our homes, we're using social media and other online information sources more than ever. But amid this viral pandemic, the spread of misinformation that's been dogging our politics could now be a matter of life or death. Wired editor-in-chief Nick Thompson has been writing about the role of technology in this current crisis. He joins us now to talk about it. Nick, good morning. I want to talk about the Wired piece on ibuprofen and the panic that started. Take us back. I mean, there's always been panics about misinformation and information snowballing, but it's magnified in this day and age.
Yeah, it's magnified because we're so worried and we're so looking for anything that will help, any sign of a cure or anything we can tweet about. So we're absolutely primed and activated for misinformation. The ibuprofen story is fascinating because there's a medical research group that puts out some information about the way a specific enzyme might interact with COVID-19. And then perhaps there's another doctor who says, well, maybe there's a connection between ibuprofen and this enzyme. So you have two sort of thoughts, but no studies. And then a French minister tweets, be worried about ibuprofen and COVID-19, and suddenly it spreads around the world. So there's no malintention. There's no one trying to do harm, but as a result, people panic about ibuprofen. So they go to CVS, which is dangerous in and of itself, and they start buying lots of acetaminophen, which has its own potential concerns. So a hazard is created totally unintentionally, but just because of the speed at which misinformation can spread.
So along those lines, and when you say there was no bad intent, but what do social media platforms do right now to try to combat this type of spread of misinformation?
You know, I've actually been pretty impressed with the social media platforms. I've been quite critical of them over the last few years, as you know. They've all stepped up. Silicon Valley was quite early to see the magnitude of this crisis. So they all have worked hard to adjust their algorithms to help find misinformation. And they very importantly, they've been doing some proactive and positive things. If you go to google.com, it tells you to do the 5. Instagram has run stories about staying at home. YouTube is putting up videos that have real coronavirus news. So each of the platforms is doing something positive. My favorite is probably WhatsApp. You can text a number to the World Health Organization and it will send you back all kinds of great information. So they're doing two things. They're trying to combat misinformation, which is always hard and lots gets through. And they're trying to proactively provide positive, useful information.
You mentioned a lot of platforms. There, Nick, but so much of this, as you know, at Wired, at CBS News, everywhere else, is still being driven by Facebook.
Yeah, right. Facebook is surely the place we're going to the most right now. We can't connect with our friends in real life, so we're starting to use Facebook more. Traffic on Facebook has gone up. At Wired, we've seen an 8-fold increase, at least, sometimes a 40-fold increase in the number of people coming from Facebook to our stories. So Facebook is working hard to block the misinformation, to provide some positive information, and to keep their servers running. And also knowing that bad stuff does spread on that platform because of the nature of the way it was set up.
Hey, really quickly, Nick, but before you go, a lot of people are frustrated by throttled Wi-Fi networks and slower speeds with everyone online. Is that going to get better?
Yeah, it's not going to get better. I think that the United States is going to be okay. I think that the major tech companies, the companies that provide the information that slows everything down, namely Netflix and YouTube, will take steps that they did in Europe to send out lower bandwidth videos if there are real situations. And also, I think what's generally happening is it's not a national bandwidth problem in some places. It's your wife and you and your kids all using the same Wi-Fi, which slows down the connection speed.
Yeah,
all right, thanks,
everybody at home. That's the problem. Nick Thompson, thank you very much, but stay at home.